All right. Welcome to Mom's Writers Club. I'm Jessica,
And I'm Sarah.
and there's not alcohol in our coffee mugs despite the way we're acting today.
No,
No.
not
Okay.
this
Today
time.
we are going to talk about Sarah's awesome one woman writing retreat. She wandered up to where?
DC,
Cool. And tell us all
Washington,
about it.
DC.
Where did you stay? What did you do?
Well, so this is something that I have done a couple times and I always look forward to. So I went up to Washington, DC, which is about a 3-hour drive from where I am now, which is where I grew up, actually to the neighborhood where I grew up. I don't know, just felt like it. And I went to this awesome little Airbnb that I very carefully selected, and I stayed for 3 nights all by myself with no interruptions, doing whatever the heck I wanted to do. And I wrote 7,000 words, and it was awesome.
That is incredible.
That's the short version.
Okay. So, why would somebody want to do a writing retreat like this?
To be completely uninterrupted by anything else. I have a job. I have two teenagers who have lots of friends. We have actually one of their friends living with us for the next 6 months. I have a husband who works at home. I have 3 cats, a dog, 2 snakes, and a sugar glider. It's like a shitload going on. So even when things are quiet in my house, there's just like a lot,
Yeah,
plus
that
there's
sounds
like
busy.
just the maintenance of a life. So as grateful as I am for my home situation and my people, there's a degree of focus I can only get if I actually physically go somewhere else. And I
Yeah.
do go out to coffee shops to write, but sometimes you're in a point in a project where you need some immersion.
And the thing I think about is on the rare occasion I'm home alone, I still have my dogs who are asking me to feed them or take them for a walk. I still have the
Yeah.
dishes that need to get done, the clothes that
And
are
your
in the dryer.
laundry and your
Yeah. And you're leaving the house
vacuuming
and
and
leaving
that
all of
bill
it
that
behind.
has been waiting for 3 weeks and that phone call
Yeah.
that you need to make. Yeah, exactly. Like I did not take any of that stuff with me. I took
Good
my
for you.
laptop and my little set of speakers, and so I picked this Airbnb very carefully. I like wanted some place that was really nice inside and kind of private. And this was just like a little studio, like one room loft kind of thing. And it was beautifully decorated. It was this architect's house over her garage, and it felt very like tucked away and private and really pleasant inside. And I didn't go anywhere. Like I went to Washington, D.C., and I didn't go anywhere. I mean, it's
Well,
partly
good for you
COVID,
though.
you know. Yeah, I would go out in the morning, get coffee and like a sandwich for breakfast, walk back. And then 2 of the 3 nights I ordered, no, well, all 3 nights I ordered dinner. One night I even had it delivered, so I didn't have to go anywhere. And that was it for
What
going out for 3 days.
what was like something about it that was surprising and that you didn't expect that was just awesome?
What's kind of interesting is I've done this a couple of times before, and
Mm-hmm.
there's always like the day I get there or the evening that I get there, even getting in my car and leaving my house, I'm just like, I'm so psyched. I'm like rocking out to some playlist in the car. I get there and it's like there's like this bump of elation right in the beginning where I'm just like, I don't even know what to do with myself. And then like it's almost not until the next morning that I'm like calmed down enough to kind of get in the
That makes me
groove,
think that makes me think of the retreat we did with Evie,
Yes,
because that's
yes,
exactly how it was. We got
that's
there and we were
exactly what
like, oh
happened,
my
right?
gosh, we're on a writing retreat. Wine and chatter and
No, we got drunk and did tarot readings and and then we got to work, but there's this
yeah.
part at the beginning where you're just like, you set all your stuff up and you're just like, I cannot believe I get to do this. I felt
Yeah.
like I was getting away with something.
Well, it's kind of like a mini vacation and you get to go somewhere cool. I always like whether it's a hotel or, well, especially an Airbnb when it's like someone's house or like their little apartment or studio or whatever. It's so cool to just be in another person's space and like see how they've decorated it and like
Yeah.
the vibe. And you definitely picked one out like specific for, because isn't your book based? in that
My book is
area.
based in
So
that
you like
neighborhood.
put
Yeah.
yourself right where you needed to be to like really be in that place, which I think is cool. If someone out there wants to organize this for themselves, do you have like a top 3 or 5 tips on like how to make it successful?
1, 2, and 3 are do it. Just do it. So I posted a couple things on Twitter. I put up a couple tweets when I got there and then when I left, and I got a huge response, like lots and lots of people liking them and like lots of people commenting, just saying, "Oh my God, this is the dream. I'm so jealous. I've always wanted to do this. I want to try
Just do
this
it, you
myself
guys.
someday, blah blah blah." So, I want to totally acknowledge my good fortune in that I can afford it and I can make it work in my family.
Let me
Um,
add though that like I've looked at doing stuff like this in my area, and
mhm,
I know that we all have like different levels of income, but it's not that expensive. You can rent a room in a cool house.
yeah,
I've seen it as low as like 40 or $50 a night. And yes, there's
yeah.
probably a cleaning fee or something, but like it's not like we're spending $200 or $300 a night per,
No,
for
no.
one person. Like you can do this very cheaply. You can take your own food. Like you can make this cheap and just
Yeah,
really focus on your writing. Obviously, the big thing is, can you get away from your house and have someone else to watch your kids? But it's doable.
yeah, yeah. No, you're totally right that you can do this on a budget for sure, because this is not about like going somewhere and doing things. This is just about physically removing yourself from your day to day life, going somewhere reasonably nice, and just having a room to yourself for a couple days. I did not spend much on food. There was coffee in the Airbnb. Like, I didn't go out. I got takeout, but you could bring your food with you. So, just do it. Do it, do it, do it. Get on
So what are
Airbnb or whatever and book the thing. Pick a date. Pick a date like 3 months out or something like that. If it's only up to you, go whenever you want. Where whatever works with work or whatever you do. If you've got a family and kids to deal with, you get with your partner or your kids or whoever and be like, "Hey, here's this thing I want to do anytime in the next 4 months."
I want to add something to like
Hmm.
this part. And I say this based off of when we organized our writing retreat. I find that if I go to my husband and say, "Hey, I want to do this thing, like, can we talk about it?" He often is busy in that moment and we
Mm,
never get around to talking about it. And I'm
yeah.
I'm not asking him permission. I'm asking him, "Hey, I need your help figuring out when this works for both of us because we
Right.
have a child that we both care for." You want to be like respectful with your partner, but sometimes it works better, at least for me, to be like, "I'm doing this thing and I'm thinking this date." Like I will
Oh
present a
yeah.
date or
Yeah.
say like, "Here are 2 dates. Does one work better for you?" And then it's not saying, "Can we do this?" Or when
Oh
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
time,
No, no, no. Yeah.
it's, "I'm doing this, and I need your help."
Right.
And, obviously for either partner, like you don't want to tell them, "I'm leaving for the weekend, goodbye," without like making sure everybody's good with it. But
Yep.
like at some point you
Yep.
just have to kind
And
of do it.
honestly, you know what I did is this was in like, okay, so this is January. I think I booked this in like November or something like that.
Mhm.
Um, I just booked it because there was a cancellation policy that allowed me to cancel for free up until a
Oh,
certain number
nice.
of
Yeah.
weeks.
And
Like,
that's pretty
I booked
normal
this
for
like
Airbnbs.
3 months in advance, and then it was like up to 2 weeks in advance you could still cancel.
Yeah,
But
that's
and I
great.
was like, that place is great. I love it. I'm gonna book it. And then at some point when it was like, when we could both focus, I talked to my husband and I was like, here's this thing I'm planning to do. And does this work for you? And he was like, and luckily my husband's great. He was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Good for you. Have fun. And it wound up coming right after my birthday. So this was like my birthday
Nice.
present to myself.
I like that. I think I know what I'll
Yeah.
be booking for the month after my birthday.
Yeah. So tip
Um,
number 1 is do it. Tip number 2 is do it. Tip number 3 is also do it. Tip number 4 is don't forget your actual paper notebook, which is what I did this time.
oh no.
I had all my other gear, but bring something you can listen to music on if you're into that. I got this like awesome little set of portable speakers for Christmas, and I brought them with me and I hooked them all up and set up my
Nice.
Bluetooth and I was able to listen to good music because a lot of Airbnbs don't have good things to listen to music on.
Honestly, I just use
But
my phone. I find the speaker on my phone to be pretty good. I'm not
sorry.
married to a musician, so you know what?
Yeah,
Wow.
I could not do that. But yeah, whatever it is that you're into, make sure that you bring it with you.
For
And
me,
if you're
I'd bring
going,
running shoes.
yeah, I would too if I didn't have a fucked up ankle.
You won't have a fucked up ankle for much longer.
Well, it's going to be a while before I'm running, but yeah, they're going to
We're
fix it
gonna do a
really
race
soon.
together. She's committed to it.
I hope in the fall I can do a 5K. I'm looking forward to that. But the other thing, and this is funny for me because I'm always like, when I'm traveling, I'm like a pretty light packer, you know. But I was like, I'm going in the car. Like, I'm bringing all my shit with me. Like, I brought my rye whiskey, which I like, and my cherries, and some food. And I mean, I just like packed all this crap into the car because it didn't matter. It's in the car, You're not like going on an airplane. So just bring
That's how
all
it
the
was for ours.
yeah, bring all the stuff that makes you feel like nesty and like good, and
You're
that
happy
gets you
writer
kind of
things.
into yourself and inside
Yeah,
of your own head and inside of your own psyche and stuff like that. Bring all that stuff with you. Even if bring a couple of craft books. Like I brought two obscure ones that I just didn't look at very often. I loved them. It's great.
all right. Any last suggestions, comments, or things that you want to share about your one woman writing retreat?
No.
All right. Well, thanks
That's
for
it.
joining us. Sarah, where can people find you online?
I am at Sara Reed Author on Twitter is kind of where I'm most active, but also at my website is sarareed.net.
All right. I'm at
And you?
author just Payne or jessicapayne.net. And we'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye bye.